You're watching KRDO News Channel 13, where the news comes first. Your news starts right now.
It was one of Teller County's highest-profile murder trials and a killing that shocked the town of Woodland Park.
But now, with a possible appeal looming for Patrick Frazee, a private investigator familiar with the case has some strong opinions on how the trial was carried out. Good evening, I'm Mallory Anderson.
And I'm Heather Skold. Bart has the night off. Years after a Teller County man was convicted of killing his fiancée with a baseball bat, a private investigator is criticizing the trial that caught national attention.
In 2019, Patrick Frazee was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison for the killing of the mother of his child, Kelsey Barrett. Investigative reporter Dan Beatty is live in studio with more from that investigator who's been looking into the case for nearly 2 years. Dan.
On a true crime podcast this week, the private investigator hired by the family of Patrick Frazee to review the case spoke publicly for the first time. He said there is another side of the story that remains untold, Patrick's story.
Because I think you'll find it to be very different than what the prosecution has convicted him on.
Former Pueblo County Sheriff and current private investigator Dan Corsentino says his team was hired on by Patrick's mother to look into her son's murder case. On Thanksgiving Day 2018, Frazee's fiancée Kelsey Barrett disappeared, prompting a statewide search. Frazee was then charged with killing the mother of his child in her Woodland Park home with a baseball bat. A jury found him guilty of Kelsey's murder in 2019. Corsentino says his team reviewed the 25,000 pages of findings from the case. On an episode of the Crime Curious podcast, Corsentino did not provide specifics, but he called Frazee's trial skewed, the investigation flawed. And as for the key witness in the case, Frazee's mistress, Crystal Lee,
I can tell you that she probably was the most uncredible individual in the case. And for the prosecution to make her the cornerstone of their case, we believe, was not good judgment.
Lee, who told investigators she helped Frazee dispose of the body, pleaded guilty to tampering with a deceased human body in exchange for testifying against Frazee. 13 Investigates reached out to Lee's attorney for comment. Corsentino says Frazee wanted to testify during his trial, but his defense advised him not to.
At this point, his side of the story has not been told.
Appellate judges are currently reviewing Frazee's appeal. The Colorado Judicial Branch says it could take weeks or even months before a decision is made. We did reach out to the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office today for their reaction to Corsentino's comments, but they declined to comment as this case is pending. Reporting in studio, Dan Beatty, 13 Investigates.